Hi, kindergarten. I wanted to read you a story today called Hugless Douglas. The author of this book is David Melling. One spring morning, a sleepy someone let out a big yawn from the back of a deep, dark cave. It was a young brown bear, and his name was Douglas. "I need a hug," said Douglas. So he wriggled out of his pajamas, brushed his hair, put on a scarf, and went to look for one. "My best hugs are big," thought Douglas. So he went up to the biggest thing he could find, wrapped his arms all the way around, and gave it a squeeze. It didn't feel right. "Oof," grunted Douglas. "It's a bit too heavy. Help." "My best hugs are tall," thought Douglas. So he went up to the tallest thing he could find. He hugged the bottom, he hugged the middle, and he hugged as high as he could reach. But it was all wrong. It gave him splinters. "My best hugs are comfy," thought Douglas, and he trotted toward a cozy-looking bush. He hugged the bush, but something felt very odd. The leaves quivered and trembled and ran away. I don't know if you can tell what those are, but those look like his sheep friends. "Give me a hug," cried Douglas. "No," bawled the sheep. "We're too busy." He scooped up armfuls anyways and tried to cuddle them gently, but they kicked and squirmed and didn't like it at all. Poor Douglas. "Why can't I find a hug?" he said. "If I want a hug," said a wise owl, "I sit in my tree and—" "Let me try," whooped Douglas, and he scrambled up next to the owl. But he soon found himself in a little bit of trouble. "Hoo, hoo," said the owl angrily. "Uh-oh. I only wanted a hug," sniffed Douglas. "Perhaps there's one down here." He felt something long-eared and rabbity and went to give it a hug. Douglas could tell the rabbit didn't want a hug. He sniffed again and, without thinking, wiped his nose on its fluffy tail. "Excuse me," shouted the rabbit. "Put me down." "But I need a hug," said Douglas, "and I can't find one anywhere." "Oh, I see," said the rabbit kindly. "Come with me." He took Douglas by the paw and led him up, down, and around. At last they came to a deep, dark cave where a sleepy someone was just waking up. Yawn. Douglas peeped inside. He had the funniest feeling that he knew the someone very well. "Hug?" asked Douglas, and ran as fast as he could toward his mommy. "Come to think of it, my best hugs are from someone I love," said Douglas, and he snuggled into the biggest, warmest arms he knew. Here there is a sandwich hug, a goodnight hug, an upside-down hug, a don't let go hug, falling hug, shy hug, group hug, back to front hug, solo, that means by yourself, a solo hug, a tummy hug, a daisy chain hug, a big hug, a come and get it hug, and the unrequited hug. This says hug time. Get ready to hug. Number 1, stretch out your arms. 2, smile. 3, and squeeze. Some of the best hugs are with your family and friends, but you can hug anything really, just like Douglas. Who do you like to hug? Try practicing some of the hugs from the hug gallery. Find a friend and try a twisty back to front hug. Squeeze really tightly for a brilliant don't let go hug. Can you think of your own special hug? Why don't you draw a picture of it and color it in? Remember, hugs are very special to Douglas and to all of us. The end. So right now, while we are at home, something to consider is that we don't have a ton ton of people around to hug like we would maybe in kindergarten or at lunch or at recess. We're also supposed to make sure that we're having safe bodies even when we're at home. So my favorite type of hug when I'm at home is the solo hug. So one way you can practice is by taking your arms out, taking them across your body and giving a big squeeze. All right, I'm going to send this hug to you, and I will see you for our next read aloud. Bye.